Imagine you're standing on a quiet hill overlooking thousands of small, white headstones. The wind gently stirs the leaves of old trees, and everywhere you turn, another row of stones stretches into the distance, like soldiers standing at attention. The air feels peaceful, yet powerful, like you're in a special place where history whispers stories of courage and sacrifice. As you take a deep breath, you realize you're standing in Arlington National Cemetery, one of America's most honored and respectful places. Arlington National Cemetery is located in Arlington, Virginia, just across the Potomac River from Washington, D.C. It's a place where over 400,000 people who served the United States are buried. These aren't just any people, they are brave men and women who served in the military during times of peace and great conflict. The cemetery is a way for the country to say thank you to these individuals who dedicated their lives to protecting the nation. The land that would become Arlington National Cemetery has a fascinating history. Before it became a burial site, it was part of a plantation called Arlington House. This land was once the home of Mary Anna Custis Lee and her husband, Robert E. Lee. Mary was the great-granddaughter of Martha Washington, who was the wife of the first U.S. President, George Washington. Robert E. Lee later became a general. During the American Civil War, the U.S. government took over the property in 1861, and by 1864 it began using the grounds as a military cemetery. This was done because many soldiers had lost their lives during the war, and nearby cemeteries were running out of space. The first person buried at Arlington was Private William Chrisman, a Union soldier, in May 1864. He was only 20 years old. Many more followed, and soon the cemetery grew into a large and beautiful space filled with trees, paths, and monuments. Today there are veterans from every American conflict buried at Arlington, including the Civil War, World Wars I and II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, and more recent times. People who served in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard are all honored there. One of the most famous places inside Arlington National Cemetery is the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. This special white marble tomb holds the remains of unidentified American service members from several wars. The soldiers who rest there gave everything, but their names were not known. For this reason, they are honored as symbols for all others who died in service with no known identity. The tomb is guarded 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, rain, snow, or shine, by a group of specially trained soldiers called the 3rd U.S. Infantry Regiment, also known as the Old Guard. These soldiers take their responsibility very seriously. They perform a quiet, perfect marching ceremony to show honor and respect. People who visit often stand silently and watch with awe. Be sure to check out our episode all about the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier to learn more. Along with the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, there are other important spots at Arlington. One is the grave of President John F. Kennedy, who was buried there after his death in 1963. Near his grave burns an eternal flame, which symbolizes how his memory lives on forever. His brothers, Senators Robert and Edward Kennedy, are also buried nearby. Arlington is also home to memorials that honor groups such as astronauts, nurses, and people who served in special roles in the military. There's even a memorial for those who died aboard the Space Shuttle Challenger. Arlington is also a very active cemetery. Even today, several burials happen each day. Each one is performed with a sense of honor and includes traditions like a flag-draped coffin, the playing of taps, and at times a military flyover or a 21-gun salute, depending on the service member's rank and achievements. Family members come to mourn their loved ones, but also to celebrate lives lived in service. The traditions and ceremonies remind everyone of the respect the nation holds for its military personnel. In May each year, Arlington holds a special event called Flags In. Just before Memorial Day, soldiers from the Old Guard place small American flags in front of every headstone in the cemetery, more than 260,000 flags in all. It's a quiet and respectful way to remember those who are gone and thank them for their service. Memorial Day itself is one of the most important times at Arlington, with ceremonies attended by the President and other national leaders. It is a day for the country to pause and say, "Thank you." Arlington National Cemetery is more than just a burial ground. It is a symbol of honor, bravery, and respect. It shows us that the sacrifices made by individuals are not forgotten. Every tree, every stone, every flag placed by a headstone is part of a bigger story about who we are as a nation. It helps even young people understand the importance of service, courage, and remembering the past.